14th, and you're listening to the While We Still Can podcast. Kind of like we should vote while we still have the right to do it, right, Tina? Here on the pod,
husband,
we talk about Missouri politics and national politics, and then whatever else is on our mind, just for fun. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for downloading. Thanks for playing. Got some big news in Missouri. Judge blocks restrictions to the Missouri abortion ban.
Abortion Monday. What you doing, girl? It's President's Day. I'm getting an abortion on Monday. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have a uterus anymore. But if I did, okay, so our hard work paid off, even if we get a federal ban in like a couple months.
And in all seriousness,
take it for a win.
Nobody wants an abortion. Abortions are not good. We like to try to avoid them when possible, but everybody needs to be free over their own bodies, and that right is crucial.
Autonomy.
And the Missourians voted for that right in the last election, and the Republicans are trying to find a way to nullify that. And thus far, a judge pumped the brakes on it, on their shenanigans. So,
and I do want to point out, okay, guys, if the representatives that we're voting in don't listen to their constituents, because obviously a majority of Missourians wanted this enough to do an initiative petition to get it, and then they just kept trying to take it away, and then the Supreme Court on the last minute put it on the ballot, and they just kept fucking trying, and we got it. And then we vote for these people that say they're gonna get rid of it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense. So we need to figure out how we're going to make that jive more. We need to make a decision, because we're just making more work for ourselves here. So just my little thing. So another thing it looks like we'll have to do some more work for, Kansas City had a housing program, and there was a rule that housing or landlords could not turn away people that were using housing vouchers or any money from, for housing. So because there's such a lack of housing in Kansas City anyway, the federal government or a federal court ruled that they don't have to accept that, or people that are using that. So that's going to suck for people that use that are living in a place that decides they don't want to.
Yeah, this is an article by Heidi Schmidt and Chandler Watkins, and it says the city says the ordinance was created to help prevent unfair bias against renters that use Section 8 housing vouchers, have poor credit scores, prior convictions, or have previously been evicted. And according to the lawsuit, the city code already prohibited landlords from refusing to rent to tenants based on their source of income, as long as it is legal. It also stated that a landlord should not be required to participate in a subsidy program, including Section 8 housing.
So I can see the other side of that. I can, not in a negative way, but as a person that, has been a landlord before, you want to, if someone is chronically getting evicted, it's probably for a reason. And I don't know how to solve that problem either, but because people have to have a place to live. So yeah. I don't know what the answer is to that. So I don't know, but I can see both sides of that.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, it'd be nice if we had more available, affordable housing.
Yes, that's a total problem. And Donald Trump promised that shit was going to be cheaper, but oh yeah, they're already blaming the egg prices on Joe Biden because he killed all the fucking birds. So.
Oh, for God's sake!
How long do you think they're allowed to do that?
Oh, they'll blame him for everything as long as they can get away with it. There's no end date on that.
Guys, it didn't have to be this way. Okay, moving on to even more crazy shit.
How about what's going on in what's going on in Kansas with the TB outbreak?
Well, there's a fucking TB outbreak.
Here's an article.
And Kansas is really close.
Hang on, let me try to get this back. The title of the article is "There's a Massive Tuberculosis Outbreak in the U.S. Break Out Your Masks Again" by Louis Prada. And he says, You'd be forgiven for thinking this headline was from an Old West newspaper from the 1800s, but it also somehow feels right at home in 2025. Kansas is experiencing one of the biggest outbreaks of TB ever recorded in the United States. There have been 67 active cases reported in 2 counties since January 2024, far exceeding the usual number of annual cases statewide. Whew! 79 latent tuberculosis cases have been detected. And it goes on to say that this comes after the office of governor in the state of Kansas had its public health powers greatly reduced since the pandemic, with state and county officials forbidding the mandate of testing, isolation, and closures due to infectious diseases.
They're calling us. They're calling us like Joe Biden called all them fucking birds. And that's why our eggs are $10. Between
business interests and protecting the lives of citizens from a serious, rapidly spreading illness, business interests will always win. Well, technically, the disease will win in the end, but businesses take precedence in the eyes of public officials in the United States. So just to fill you in, TB is a respiratory disease that affects the lungs. It spreads through the air when people speak or cough. Prolonged exposure to someone with tuberculosis in a confined space, like an office or a classroom, could lead to infection. Tuberculosis is common in homeless shelters, prisons, jails, and nursing homes.
Detention centers, they be sending them wellness fucking camps.
Wellness camps.
They always kill the sick first. Sorry to be negative like that.
I remember people saying during COVID, they'd be like, well, it thins the herd, but I'm the herd.
Yeah. Okay, guys, and I feel like TB, like, people don't realize TB, we don't just take, like, a Z-Pack. Like, I don't even remember what the protocol for that is, because we honestly haven't had to deal with it. Like, I knew how to wear an N95 because TB training is a fucking N95 or a PAPR. You got to do the little squirt of the sugar, air, water, whatever. Yep. And that's the only reason I knew to wear an N95, and like everybody won't fucking wear one. So it's like TB, guys.
Good luck with that, everyone.
But I can tell you, wearing a mask will help with all of these things. Also, what else do we have along with TB?
TB? Let's see. You mean what diseases? What diseases are we talking about today?
Yeah, what other disease that we haven't seen in a while? Because we have a fucking vaccine.
Could it be measles in Texas?
Yeah, guys, measles. It ain't just a rash.
This article is from Timothy Malcolm.
So it's on an Amish area. An Amish, what are they called?
It says West Texas community is grappling with the largest measles outbreak in the state in nearly 30 years. Officials are concerned that hundreds may be infected with otherwise rare disease because of a lack of vaccinations. Texas Department of State Health Services reported Friday that over the last 3 weeks, the agency has identified 48 confirmed cases of measles, which is characterized by rashes that may cover the entire body, along with a high fever and cold symptoms. 13 of the 48 patients have been hospitalized. Most of the cases are children younger than 18. Every confirmed case is either unvaccinated or has an unknown vaccination status. So yes, it's a close-knit, under-vaccinated Mennonite community in Gaines County, which is rural West Texas, about 87 miles southwest of Lubbock.
What all does measles do to a person? Let's check.
In some cases, measles can be fatal. The measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, commonly known as MMR, has been administered for decades to children around 1 year old and again at preschool age, and has been proven to be extremely effective preventing measles. I can't read today. Extremely effective at preventing measles. In South Plains Public Health District, clinic in Seminole is offering vaccinations to residents or near the impacted area. Meanwhile, in the Lone Star State, the group Texans for Vaccine Choice has been pushing for weakened vaccination mandates, endorsing about 20 bills in the Texas legislature aimed at promoting vaccine choice. All the while, the Texas Tribune reported that vaccine exemptions have increased nearly annually over the last decade.
Okay, so measles, like, wipes out your whole fucking immune system. So you get it. And so if you've had vaccinations before and then you get measles, not saying the MMR or whatever, but if you've had or any previous antibodies, apparently you don't have that immunity anymore.
Okay, so this is from Up to Date. Measles virus infection can lead to immune suppression and secondary infections, which are important components of measles-related morbidity and mortality. Secondary and co-infections can include bacteremia, pneumonia, gastroenteritis, and otitis media. Well, you know, they're kind of raging war on the immune system.
Yeah. For no reason, guys. Just get your kid vaccinated. I'm sorry. I'm going to have an opinion about that.
Absolutely.
Do it for the kids that can't because they're going through fucking chemotherapy. Like, seriously? Your kid is going to be the reason someone else's kid died.
Well,
and you know what? Sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
So I was reading, I'll verify because I don't remember the exact origin, but I read it. That autism, so Mennonite communities and Amish communities don't vaccinate their kids, and they have the same amount of autism in their communities.
Oh, I see.
The general,
okay.
The percentage statistic.
Yeah, I think that's all been debunked, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, but our new health czar, has Brainworm is his name. He's also sending us. Did we talk about wellness farms already?
Not yet, no.
See, it sounds so like lush and
so
inviting.
This week, JFK Jr., who's now the Secretary of Health and Human Services, he has an issue with medications used, antidepressants basically, and medications used to treat depression and anxiety and ADHD. And what did he say, Tina? He's thinking maybe removing medications from people's regimens, and if they're struggling to withdraw, then perhaps they should go to a camp. Is that accurate?
Marketed.
I saw that it would be in rural areas.
And we will be, I say we because he's gonna take my fucking Prozac. You guys think I'm crazy now. So the reason that you have, chemical imbalances in your brain, obviously, is because you're not eating organic vegetables. So I will be gardening, I guess.
I wish
maybe we're replacing everyone they're deporting. I'm not sure.
At the end of the day, I wish he could leave medical decisions to the medical community and butt the hell out. This is ridiculous.
He was addicted to heroin.
Yeah, the fact that he's in this position is asinine and absurd. We've talked about it before.
Well, and so I will give credit where credit, or if I agree with something, him talking about getting dyes and stuff out of food.
Okay, super.
Are making healthy choices. Oh yeah, we already talked about this with Michelle Obama because they're copycats, but since a white man or orange man said it. But yeah, so they're all just crooks. But I don't think Big Pharma would let that happen. And also, you're going to put a bunch of fucking crazy people together and take away their medicines?
You have a good point about Big Pharma because at the end of the day, like you say, we just need to follow the money. And I doubt big money of Big Pharma is going to like to have a word.
Okay. But, a lot of countries I don't want to say a lot, but I just remember reading those books about World War II and Germany and how they had that stuff called Peruvitin, and it was basically Adderall. It was speed. But the military took it too. And that's how they were psycho a lot of the time. But they made it in their factories there, and they gave it to the general public.
Interesting.
Oh, it was crazy. I read a book about it. I'll have to send it to you.
So that's happening.
The Nazis didn't even take away the meds. Come on.
Speaking of what else they didn't take away is their graphic art. We saw in the news tonight that there's a new Doge symbol that contains the round gear thing. That's straight out of an old
around the swastika
Nazi symbol. Yeah.
He does the special wave. I'm speechless. Not only am I going because I dissent, I need to go get well.
All that's happening. Another day, another week, another few hours in Missouri in the United States. Meanwhile, the adults in the room, the foreign countries are having an emergency meeting in Europe to try to figure out what the hell to do.
Very embarrassing. Very embarrassing. JD Vance is over there like lecturing, getting us in trouble. Then Trump, I guess, is going to Saudi Arabia to negotiate with Putin over Ukraine without Ukraine.
Wow. Well, this is a good time to welcome the folks that perhaps just started paying attention and want to learn more about what's going on and where they can go to get more information. We're not here to tell you that we effed around and now we're finding out. We're glad you're here and that we can all push the same direction to try to get this straightened out. Yeah, then,
you can wave yourself on out of here.
Bye-bye.
Speaking of the G7, I don't know if anybody saw that presser with Hegseth having a very suspicious whiskey
beverage
glass with a
well,
a slight golden amber tinge.
I guess we don't know what's in there, but
that he drank 7 times and swirled. Very
Can
suspect.
he drink anything, though? Because if it's clear, it could be vodka or gin or who knows. If it's dark, it could be...
He could have a fucking water bottle.
We don't know. So if I were him, I would just steer clear of maybe not consuming a beverage in public at this time.
I know. He just has the pinky kind of out. Like, but not our Department of Defense.
Can you believe it?
You know what? And I just have the simple question of Doge. Okay, I still have seen 0 actual evidence besides Elon Musk parodies on Twitter posting Doge found blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if that is just a something that you disagree with doesn't mean that it's waste, okay? I know that you feel like it is.
Well, and like we've talked about before, the richest guy in the world is not going to volunteer his time and money and energy to do something for the public. He's in it for himself. He's in it to either siphon money off or get out of legal issues that he's in, which I think there's 30-some pending issues. I don't know the exact number. But okay, you guys, if you think he's there to help us,
it's like
you are getting scammed.
Likes you.
Okay? Yeah, the stripper likes you. Exactly. He's not. He's there to help himself. We are, as taxpayers, are getting scammed. And there's no other way to look at it. And you think, oh, well, shouldn't we be all for wasteful government spending? Absolutely. We all want that. We all want to cut that back, and we want our tax money to be spent as efficiently as possible. But that is not the way to do it.
Oh, I'm going to bring a little statistic up here before we talk about Elon Musk's most recent child, because he needs another human shield for his head. Hold on, because X is going to he's going to be too big here coming up.
We've talked before that my favorite member of that family is Vivian, and she's kind of like
badass.
Yeah, and
Love
she put on Threads the other day that she's so funny that she's found out twice 2 episodes of being in a Reddit a subthread of Reddit.
A subreddit.
Subreddit, thank you. And she's learned that she has
I've just been banned from one.
A step sibling twice.
Or no, a half sibling.
Thank you. A half sibling.
Sorry.
2 times. Whoever, no one learns they have a half sibling on Reddit, but she has twice. Isn't that hilarious?
Shit's weird.
Anyway, what were you going to say about baby mamas and Elon Musk?
No, I was going to say cutting. I read that they cut 700 FDA employees.
Of course, everybody's probably heard by now, but they cut a bunch of people in the nuclear program.
Oh, God.
And then they're like, oh, my God, we didn't realize what they did. We need to get these people back to work. But they couldn't get a hold of them. They're trying to figure out how to contact these people. It's just chaos. That was their goal to begin with, was just utter chaos.
But the for real, guys? Really?
Again, I just hope people are finally figuring out that this is all a terrible idea.
I honestly think it's going to have to be a sports. So Save Act, when they do Save Act, and then women can't vote that are married because their birth certificate does not match their form of ID.
And there's some question we've been discussing. It's bad all around. I agree. But it's even worse if like you're already registered and you have to show up with documents. First of all, whoever takes their birth certificate to vote anyway, no one does. But let's say you had to, and now your maiden name on your birth certificate doesn't match your married name on your driver's license or whatever.
That's going to really backfire.
Yeah, I mean, clearly we can't have that. Now, on another note, if they're saying when you register to vote, you have to bring your birth certificate that has to match your driver's license. I mean, two things. Either people are going to have to register early in life, because if you wait until after you're married and they don't match, you're screwed, which is disenfranchising in itself. Or people are going to choose not to do things that cause them to change their name, so they match. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, this is a situation that potentially affects half the population. We can't let that happen. But again, it's all part of the same thing. You know, they're trying to throw wrenches in the system wherever they can. And if a significant amount of women can't vote, they don't care. That's also, like a feature, not a bug for them.
And that's going to backfire, because if women didn't care about voting, if you are like, you can't do it, they're going to be like, the fuck? Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. No one really gives a shit about anything anymore. Let's see. I was going to talk. Oh, we got a little drama, right?
Drama?
What's her name? Smashly Ashley. Although she did not have sex with him. Ashley St. Clair.
Who is she? I don't know who she is.
We talked about her. She tweeted that she has Elon's most recent baby.
Okay.
You don't remember her?
I mean, yeah, kind of. But I guess I'd never heard of her till like this conversation. Not specifically right now, but when it came up.
When we heard about this?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's because no one really had. So Ashley St. Clair was like a right-wing it girl, you know, kind of like a Laura Loomer, but like way more attractive for the Charlie Kirk crew.
Ew. Okay.
And I think she literally, I think she had a podcast, you know.
Oh.
Not like ours, okay? Not like ours. And I really think she started talking to Elon through, comments on Twitter. And he IVF'd her up, and she had his baby, and I can't make this shit up. And he hasn't said anything about it. The baby's 5 months old. So Ashley St. Clair was on Twitter and said, Elon, we have been trying to communicate for the past several days, and you have not responded. When are you going to reply to us instead of publicly responding to smears from an individual who just posted photos of me in underwear at 15 years old? Okay, weird, right?
Yeah. So first and foremost, nobody should be posting pictures of any 14-year-old in their underwear. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry that happened to her.
Yeah.
But now her baby daddy is out of touch, and she's tweeting at him. Yeah. Do you remember when we were all freaked out because of overpopulation and global crowding and resource scarcity and all that? When did we swing the pendulum to Elon Musk knocking 14 people? Well, not 14 different women, but that's only the ones we know about, right?
Yeah, this girl, she said she was tweeting that he made her stay by herself her whole pregnancy and not tell anybody.
Oh. And
now the baby's 5 months old, and I guess he ain't paying child support or something. He probably forgot about her. She thought it was going to be different, okay? Fourth time's a charm.
It feels like a quick reach out to Grimes could have clued her in on what's going to happen. And Grimes
or the other
is
one,
one of his other baby mamas.
That's X. That's X's mama.
X's mama,
the favorite baby.
Yeah,
who told Donald Trump to shush.
Yeah,
shh.
I feel sorry for that kid just being drawn into all this mess. Can you imagine? Anyway,
I don't even know what's real anymore. It's like I'm living the onion.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up for today.
Wrap it up. But you can get abortions in Missouri now. So
but we hope you don't need them.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just being disgusting and terrible because
That's how we cope. We laugh.
yeah,
We laugh
it
through
really
the pain.
is.
Yeah.
They're
That's what we
like,
do.
God damn. Like, hold on, I missed my last therapy appointment.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let us know what you're thinking out there. You can always go to the whilewestillcanpod.com and send us a note or, text Tina. Because I think everybody that listens to this podcast has Tina's phone number. So text her.
Text me.
Hit her up.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, bye. I'm sure something global will happen.
Bye, friends.
Bye.